Hola chicos! I'm Christian and I'm moving to Spain. So, welcome to another video. This time around I will talk about how it is to move to Spain. Well, that's pretty much all of my videos anyway. But I think I'll ramble a little bit about different things about how the process of moving to Spain is and what you're gonna experience moving to Spain, and some culture shocks too, and so on. And then maybe it should be more about the culture shocks. I don't know. I will just ramble a little bit and see if I can use it for anything. But of course, I don't have the experience myself yet because I have not really moved to Spain yet. So this is kind of like a thought process, an initial reaction to Spain that I will update when I, for fuck's sake, man, actually arrive in Spain. Actually have lived there for a month or so on. So there of course also be a part 2 or 3 or whatever of this video where I actually talk about how true I was, how right I was, if everything I said was true, or if I have rediscovered something new and so on and so forth. But my thoughts again. First and foremost, to come to Spain, a lot of bureaucracy. I have talked about that before, and we'll go into more detail about that. So it will not be a detail, but this video is not about the details. Also have to do some preparation on your own, personal preparation. Get your stuff together before you move to Spain. Do get an NIE number before or after. Do move all your stuff immediately or later, or step by step, or do just sell everything. Do sell everything you can on this. It can be in the suitcase you have or bring with you, or do you sell some of your stuff and bring other things with you the next time you come back to your home country and go again, and then you can come with empty suitcases and fill them up when you're home, and then get back to Spain with fill up suitcases and get your things over like that, step by step. All these things you have to think about. But then you arrive in Spain. And that's what I really want to talk about in this video, more about when you arrive. Like, after you actually arrive in Spain, instead of the preparation. I've talked about the preparation before, and I will talk a lot about that because that's what I'm doing right now. But when you arrive in Spain, you need to find an apartment, or maybe you have already done that. Maybe you need to find some roommates if you don't already move with someone you're gonna move into. If you come like a family, it's something else than if you come alone. Maybe you're gonna live with your family. If you arrive with them, of course you're gonna do that. Maybe if you arrive alone, you actually wanna live alone, but maybe you wanna find some roommate. You can do that in a lot of ways. You can just rent a room, and in most cases there will be more rooms rented out, so you will get roommates, kind of like that, or apartment mates at least. So there's that way. You can also try to find someone that also looking for apartment, and then talk with them and find an apartment together. That would probably be easier to do before you actually arrive in Spain, like by some Facebook group and something. There are lots of Facebook group about moving to Spain. There's even exchange student specific Facebook groups, but there are also Facebook groups for like normal people, or what you're gonna say, for every kind of person that can move to Spain. There are Facebook groups. There are Facebook groups specific for that. So do that, try that. Actually try to get some connections before you arrive in Spain. Try to go to every like Facebook page and other sites you can do as fast as possible. Not that you're in a hurry, not stress about it, but just do your homework. But don't see it as homework, just like do something before you move. Do everything you can, like use the time wisely, I guess. But then when you have moved into your apartment in Spain, what then gonna happen? Then you're gonna find a job, of course, or maybe you just gonna study without a job, or depend on if you can. It's yeah, some get money, some don't, and study is complicated. Maybe you're already retired. In that case, you don't have to find a job. To be retired is very easy if you move into another country, at least. Like, you just move in, you buy an apartment, and buy. For sure, if you're retired, then buy it. Because you can always sell it and get your money back if you're moving to a third country. But if you buy it, then it's yours and you don't have to pay for it anymore. And especially in Spain, it's yours. Like in Spain, you don't have to pay taxes or anything. If you own an apartment, it's just yours. That's it. Of course, you have to pay for electricity and water and heat and garbage and all this shit. But that's normal. You don't have to pay more for the actual apartment. Like in other countries, where, like Denmark, where you actually have to pay tax 2 times for your apartment, even though you own it. So you cannot really own stuff in Denmark. You always have to pay for it. So like in Spain, you can own stuff, and that's better. You will save a lot of money, at least if you live there the rest of your life. And then again, if you have paid that up front and you are over with that, that's gone. You don't have that monthly thing. Then you can focus on your money you have saved up in your retirement and then split it out, of course, in a nice way. It depends on how your retirement are going. Maybe you get some money each month. Retirement is also complicated, but spread the money out in a nice way, and of course save some money for electricity and all this shit, and then the rest can go to food and other. Then just entertainment, enjoy of life. So it'd be way easier to spread your money out in the right way and to actually see how many money you have to live for every day and how nice a life you actually are able to live when you are retired in Spain. So that's the easy one. But most of the time you probably have to get a job in Spain. How is that? Well, that's complicated. I've made a video about that. So if you want to know more about get a job, then Google, I guess, or see my other video about job specifically. But then after that, what's left? Well, then there are the free time in Spain. Now you're gonna enjoy your life because you moved to Spain and you did it because you wanna enjoy your life. So in Spain, it's very outdoor living, and people are out all the time. People are never home, and they're walking a lot. I really like to walk long walks. What do you even say? Take a long walk, whatever. Want to go on take long walks? I love long walks, but now I cannot even say the word. I don't know how to phrase it, but I like to go 50,000 steps a day. And so I just like to be out and moving all day, do a lot of different things, but everything at least a bit active. I really like that way of living. I like these days where I can do that. I like doing that. Even in Denmark, I still like doing that. So the lifestyle of Spain, where that is pretty much your everyday life, then it's of course something you gotta like if you want to move to Spain, because there's probably not many people that want to stay home with you and just come over and stay inside and watch television all day. So if that's what you like, then maybe not come to Spain. I don't say you can't watch television, like some days you can watch television and movies. Of course, people are watching movies. So take it with a grain of salt. What I say, it's not black and white. It's always a balance. It's just the balance in Spain are more against the outdoor living than the indoor living. When in Denmark we are more against the indoor living than the outdoor living. So we are long away from each other, but we are not extremely anyway. So, and in Madrid especially, where I'm moving to, that's a really walkable city and stuff is happening all over the place. It's a very big city, but a very busy city, even in the farthest points city. And there's also the metro if you are a bit lazy. And I say that because Madrid is pretty big. If you want to go from one side to another, you can pretty much not walk it. But for most of the time you could walk. Sometimes you can walk an hour to get from one place to another. So if you are not too lazy, you could do that. And I think it's easier to like walk for an hour in Madrid than it is like here in Denmark, because again, this is the I cannot speak. Whatever. The life is happening outside. And Denmark, when you take a walk outside, like nothing happening, it's kind of boring to walk here. I'm not saying totally boring, again I like to walk, but compared to Madrid it is, because in Madrid everything is happening outside, and a walk is never just a walk, I believe. That's how I see it, at least. Again, this is my thoughts, my initial thought. I have not lived in Madrid list, so I will not say anything for sure because I have tried out on my own. But like when you take a walk, I think it doesn't feel like you're walking from A to B. It feels like you're living your life, if you get what I mean. Like it's about the journey more than the destinations. So it's not about, oh, I have to get from my home to this building over here or this park, and then it's like then an hour. So I have to waste an hour of my life walking there, or do I take a metro? No, it's not like that. You just walk out in the city and you enjoy life. Tapas crawl, it's very popular. It's not as extremely as tourists make it. Like you don't go through 10, 20 tapas bar at once. You can stay a bit longer and settle down, take it chill, use your time. But it will not be totally unrealistic for a native Spanish to go on 5 tapas bars at least. That could happen. It's not happening every time. Like a tapas crawl could just be 3 tapas bars, and sometimes you only go to 1. I try to not be too generalizing. Like people are different, but it could happen. Also, every day is different. So you don't go to 5 tapas bars every day, of course. Sometimes you wanna have a tapas crawl, but native people, actually native people, and the native Spanish, native Madrileños in Madrid, actually, that's the best pronunciation of Madrileños I have ever had, and now I did it poorly compared to before, so I shouldn't have said it again, but I was pretty proud of that for a second there. Yeah, they also do tapas calls, but don't do it every day. It's just like, oh, today we're gonna take a tapas call. And again, I don't know everything, I'm just thinking, and some things I know and some things I guess. But yeah, what were I even talking about? I forgot. Yeah, if you do like 5 tapas bars on a tapas call, then they can be long away, not long away, they could be like 10-15 minutes away from each other. Like, but if they all are like that, then you can walk for an hour and a half just to walk between the tapas bars, and then also from your home to the tapas bar, and then you go from that tapas bar back home, and it can easily be like 2-3 hours of just pure walking you can have when you go on tapas calls like this. But you don't feel like that, because you also stay an hour in one tapas bar, maybe you also sit down, like you're not walking all the time, but also when you walk, it's short walks, and you have destination close by, so it don't feel that bad. Like, I think walking 1.5 hours, or even 2 hours, in 5 steps, 5 separated steps, instead of just walking 1 hour clean. I think that's the 2 hours in small steps feels less than the 1 hour straight, because of these breakups, and you have like the motivation when you know that the thing you walk to are only like 15 minutes away and not like an hour away. It's like, so maybe you walk to 5 different things that are 15 minutes away instead of walking to one thing an hour away, but it still feels smaller because you are motivated every single time. You are not stressed out. You don't feel lazy. I don't know how to explain that. You become bored when you walk like too much, where you don't give up if the goal are close by. You know, I don't know. I think it will make it worse how long I explain. But yeah, that now I have spoke too much. talk too much about shit, but that's how the culture is there. Very outdoor, very working, and but you live your life when you're doing so. You will naturally take more steps, I think, be more outside, become more healthy even, and you will not even you will still enjoy life more. So I think that's a really good combination of things. It's like best of both worlds, win-win. It's a dream world, but maybe I'm dreaming too much. I don't know. I will find out. So don't hate me too much yet, at least. Wait till I arrive, because I know that I'm probably wrong in some parts of my thinking and dreaming here. So yeah, but let us go to let's stay in the culture and go more deeply into the culture. You can get some culture shocks in Spain, of course. Like one thing is the extremely outdoor living. There are also other things that's normal there, which are not necessarily normal in your country. So, yeah. So now I'm starting to do this again. So get used to it, I guess. But culture shocks are a really interesting thing, because, like, me from Denmark, I can get culture shock from moving to Spain. If I was a Spanish person, I could get culture shock from moving to Denmark. Like, it works in both ways. So everybody can get culture shock to move to anywhere in the world. But there are also the thing called reverse culture shock, which is when you're moving to another country and have lived there for maybe just a month, maybe a year, something in between, like for a big period of time, and you then get back to your home country. Then you can get a thing called reverse culture shock, which is pretty much that you have forgot how it was in your own country, and you, like when you move to another country, you are ready in your mind to see different things because it's a different country, so it don't really surprise you. But when you move back to your home country, you don't expect to be surprised. But sometimes you actually forgot more than you actually thought you have forgot, and then you actually get surprised of how your own country, how the people behave in your own country. And it's quite funny because I have traveled to 19 countries, but one of them are Denmark, so that really don't count. But I have traveled to like 18 other countries than my own, and I have never really got a pure culture shock. I've also like living in other countries. Like I have been on vacation a lot in Italy, and sometimes it was for 3 weeks, sometimes even more than 3 weeks. I have been on a long vacation on Sicily too. Well, Sicily is also Italy, but it's a whole other part of Italy. But I've been on a long vacation there too, where we lived in actually somebody's home, so not a hotel but in a real home. So that felt more like living there actually. I have been I've been pretty long in Hungary actually. There I was for like a week